I am not claiming any kind of style for this pizza. New York, Chicago, Neapolitan, nope. I'm just making pizza. If you want to compare it to one, New York is the go-to. But then as soon as I do that, I'm gonna have all the New Yorkers coming in here firing shots saying that is not a New York pizza. And personally, I don't want to get attacked, so I'm gonna stay away from that. Smash that subscribe button. Let's get right into it. Let's turn up the heat. Alrighty, you decided to join me on this pizza journey, and I don't blame you. Pizza is delicious. But the first step is important because you want to start with fresh dough. 6 ingredients, and in about an hour and a half, you're gonna have, it's a secret. You're gonna have the perfect dough. Whoa, hold on, almost forgot one thing. This recipe's in grams, so get yourself a scale. No cups, no tablespoons, none of that nonsense. Starting with 154 grams of water, around 95 degrees, 6 grams of sugar, and 3.5 grams of yeast. Give this a quick mix, incorporate that sugar with that yeast. That sugar is gonna feed the yeast, start to get nice and foamy. Once it gets foamy, we'll take it from there. You're gonna need 238 grams of flour, and 5 grams of salt. And now, once that yeast starts to get nice and foamy, and there's that little, I don't know, yeast cake sitting on top, bring in your flour, and right in the middle, you can add your yeasty water. Begin to incorporate this, and as you're mixing, go ahead and stream in just a little touch of olive oil. Not too much, about 1.5 teaspoons, maybe 2. You gotta get right in there with your hands and start working it together. And once it's formed into a ball, you know exactly where I'm bringing this bad boy. Right over to my workstation, just to give it a quick knead, completely incorporate everything, and get it nice and soft and supple. You might need a little bit of flour, not too much, just enough so it doesn't stick to your hand, kind of like what it's doing now. And after about 15 minutes of kneading, whether you got a KitchenAid with a dough hook, a food processor, or you're doing it by hand, take your ball, stretch it out. If you can see light through it, just before it rips, right there, perfect. Your dough's ready. Bring that bowl back in, splash a bit of oil, whoop, just like that. Wrap that around the bowl, take your little dough baby, make them nice, and toss them in. Hit this bad boy with some plastic wrap. Once that little dough baby is perfect, cute, oiled and wrapped up, stick it somewhere warm for an hour. While that dough is staying warm, the next thing we need to tackle is the sauce. It's pretty basic here, just 5 cloves of garlic. Crush them, take the peel off, just give it a quick dice. And once they're all diced up and perfect, bring in your onion, slice it in half. Don't cut off the root, that's gonna hold this onion together because it's going into the pot as is. And get a pot with 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Once that oil is starting to get hot, go ahead, add your garlic. Make sure this garlic doesn't crisp up and burn. You just kind of want to toast it and get those aromatic notes blasting. Add 3.5 tablespoons of butter. Now that it's getting nice and foamy and bubbly and that butter's completely melted in, add each half of your onion, and right after that, go ahead and add 1 28-ounce can of crushed tomato. Swirl about a half cup of water in this can, get all that tomato goodness out of there. Now for the seasonings, 1 tablespoon of sugar, ½ teaspoon of crushed chili flake, 1 teaspoon of dried thyme, and 1.5 teaspoons of oregano. Once your sauce is at that point, blast that heat, get it to a nice rolling simmer, then reduce and get it to a nice chill simmer. It's gonna sit in that state for about 25-30 minutes. And now for the cheese. Get some nice low moisture mozzarella. On the coarse side, we're just gonna grate. And just like that, come on out, we've got our mozzarella. And after 30 minutes, those onions should be super soft and completely translucent. All that onion flavor is now into that sauce without there actually being any onion pieces. Now that it's salted and seasoned, about a teaspoon, teaspoon and a half of salt, along with salted butter, a little bit of pepper. Tastes great. Acidic, sweet, really aromatic. That oregano, that thyme, the garlic, that is very nice. And your beautiful dough baby has grown into a fully grown dough adult. And listen closely. I don't know if you could hear that or not, but all that gas is completely gone. Be generous with the flour. Make sure it doesn't stick. And now just push out and shape. Kind of form that crust with your fingertips. Just work around and keep stretching it out. And now goes on your sauce, straight into the middle, working to the outside. And now goes on your cheese. About 1 hour before go time, when that pizza goes in, get your oven to the max temperature. 525 is where mine goes, so that's where I set it. Try my best to get this thing off the pan. It's not coming off. I'm struggling. Well, as you could see, that was a pain in my butt. I tried to get fancy, and I tried to make the pizza on this, and then have the other sheet pan in there and, you know, slide it out. No, it didn't work at all. 10 minutes in the oven. That pizza is not looking circle at all. It smells delicious. It just doesn't look, you know, like the tray. It's all right. It's all going to the same place. Just don't make the mistakes I made. And perfect. Now I'm just gonna cut it. And just like that. Look at that slice. Wow. Now I know I struggled a bit to get this in the oven, but honestly, it looks pretty good. It's not as round as I would have liked it, but look at this. Making sure it doesn't fall off the board. First slice, pretty good. Little flop, not too much. Little fold. Okay. This tastes really good. Wow. Nice even balance of flavors. If you like your crust a little more crisp, leave it in there a little bit longer. Really nice fresh flavor. The cheese, the sauce, the crust, A1. Now if you would please hit that thumbs up button, smash that subscribe button for all the struggles I went through trying to get that stupid pizza off my pan. If you like this video, do all those things I already said. And until next time, peace.